Hopefully it'll upload, otherwise I'll have to say it all over again, which is fine. So what we have to remember is that we're going to be having these really like little kid energies where we're going to want to start creating. We're going to start playing again, because that's what we want. We want to be this joyful, creative, curious child in the playground. We want to be that sacred child again, because many of us have done our healing. We deserve to feel this way. But what we have to do is the collective is still going through profound healings at the collective core level. Our foundations are really healing. We still have to understand a lot of the dogmatic damages that have been done, the church and state systems and the damages that have been done, the separations and the judgments and the discriminations that have been done. And we have to then allow ourselves to organically, as we're aligning with Source, because Source knows our blueprint. Source knows what our deepest wishes. Source knows what our deepest wishes. Source knows what our deepest gifts are. Source knows what our deepest creation, Source knows what our deepest joys and our happiness is. So just allow yourself to keep soaking into your highest organic resonance with Source, and understanding that that Source energy helps you mesh and it helps you harmonize like I do as a conduit. It helps you mesh and helps you harmonize, so that your gifts and your skills and your talents are going to be activated the more and more you harmonize with Source, as opposed to we're going to see these groups shift off, because it's just natural. It depends on, again, your crystalline energy. We're going to talk about that in the second hour. We only have 10 minutes left, because the crystalline energy is what connects you to the omnipresent fields, the omnipotent fields, and you have that enmeshment with all life. And why we said earlier when we were talking about Gaia, those with higher crystalline energy, it will be very important that you release the distractions as much as possible and really get back to Gaia. Because most often than not, your gifts and your skills and what you're going to be offering for the collective will just absolutely be in that fruition of the Gaia energy, and how she's going to be communicating to us in a really heightened experience. And so that, again, when you're moving in symbiosis with Gaia, and your harmonies come like this, and it's a very quickening, so that she's going to be supporting you, you're going to be supporting her, and your income and your vocation and your happiness and all of those things could just congeal. And again, Source knows what is your happiest. Source knows all of your experiences. Source knows where your happy point, is going to be, your G-spot's going to be, as opposed to who you are as a soul. And why we have to truly know our sexual life force, what that means to us at this new stage of development, what that means to us as this new stage of entering 5D gates, how we start redesigning ourselves in beauty and in beauty products, and the way that we honor beauty, how we're looking after our bodies. We're going to go through this very beautiful, soft and refinement wheat from the shaft, which is what we're going through right now. We're finding that a lot of the things that are trying to come along with us and trying to catch on the bandwagon, there's going to be a lot of things that will just fall off, because it's not meant to be on this bandwagon. They're not in vibrational resonance for this bandwagon. And those of us that have been on the path for some time, that have been doing ascension work for some time, we are still going to be the leaders, and we're going to be the ground breakers, really anchoring humanity in doing it right. We want New Earth Star to be a very stable and honoring highest creative collective. We want to be this grounding and this beautiful bedding for the highest diverse hybridized species across our galaxy, now that we're opening up into our galactic space, so that we can have that symbiosis experience, and all of our bridges are built through Source Creator organic balance. We want to harmonize ourselves with the galaxy. And it's not thinking that we know everything and thinking that we have this and thinking that we have that. We don't want to do what we did in the 50s. We want to absolutely build respect and reverence through all that we are as Divine Source Creator, and really start doing our daily path work with Source Creator. Returning to your higher self. Your higher self knows what your soul's blueprint is. Your higher self is always guiding you to the highest skills and gifts and talents, to your highest healing, to all of your soul's lessons that you must learn. And those that have been on top for a very long time, just know that it's okay for you to take a step back and just be on the bottom part of the wheel for now, because you might have to do a lot of healing. You might have to do some recalibrations. You might have to just watch the collective for a while, so that you can fall in line for how Source is going to guide you as the intelligent, as the mind, if you will, because there's going to be a lot of healing that's going to still be needed. And maybe technology might go here for a little bit and then come back, and that'll give you more information on this healing technology to then move into a greater area like this. But you're not going to just burst yourself into this technology arena when there's still so much to learn, and your teams might take you here and there on a slower process, because you've already had many successful cycles. Now it's time to pull back and just sit with the information and just observe for a while. Because again, you don't know what's going to unfold, Source does. So it's going to be very important for all of us that are awakening into our higher intelligence. It's really fun. We get to finally think like, we finally get to be a part of this creative collective that gets to think higher and be higher and have these higher experiences and make higher intellectual friends. So we're so happy about that, right? Our collaborations are going to be higher intelligent, and we're going to be in alignment with who we are. But there's still a lot of healing. We're just starting our healing process. We're just starting to understand about our multidimensional bodies and systems. This is and the most important. All world leaders right now, we must put the higher light, intelligent wisdom teachings at the forefront, at the highest priority, so that everybody gets to start healing their chakra systems. They start to heal their fields and clear their fields. As they do, it's going to clear up a lot of what the government pays out to, illness and health benefits, and all of those things are going to start to be adjusted in profound ways. But also, too, we want to understand that how we're going to be moving in the future, how our consciousness is related, is the multidimensional body. It is our crystalline energy. It is our Christ consciousness. Our celestial travel is absolutely our multidimensional bodies, the Merkaba. And why the primary, everything is linked to everything. It's all oneness. And prior to that is the divine feminine, divine masculine energies. So if you're not doing this daily, if you're not doing this healing daily, then you're going to be behind the 8-ball. You can't just jump forward and take a leap and get on the bandwagon and just start creating all this awakening stuff when God might have you working in a few different arenas. But always follow your heart, right? But as long as you're doing the work and you're looking after your divine feminine energies, divine masculine energies, and just pull back, because God might have you doing a few different things because God knows your bigger projects, right? And if you've already been on top of the wheel for a while, part of this time for you might be just to sit back and hold the rest of the collective and just observe. Where is the healing going? Where is technology really going? We want to do it right this time. We don't want to abuse the intelligence and the energies, because again, the celestials will not move us forward, and we will not take any advancements forward if we're not getting these foundations. And this is why I will be moved to leadership. We have to get the foundations. You cannot interdimensionally travel. There will be technologies that will not be given to us. They will be blocked and veiled. We must get into the organic resonance and our harmonization with Source. Our core vibration is everything to where we are, when we end up, how we end up, and what we do. There's nothing more important. So this is why we want to bring up every day our core vibration and our harmony with Source. And who is Source to you? What are you? And always begin. We're multidimensional beings. Okay, then what? What does that mean? Again, so be very discerning about people that just come out with their awakening stuff and they've just woken up. Be very discerning, because they do have to sit back and go through the process, and the process is an integrated process. I've always said, take the long journey. Don't take the short one. Take the long road. Because it's going to serve you. You're going to be that dodecahedron. You need to understand the dodecahedron. If you don't understand dodecahedron, you're not going to understand anything in these 5D gates, and you'll probably have psychosis every other month. And psychosis is not fun. If you're not grounding and doing the work, you will have psychosis, especially now, because a lot of those darker energies were pulled out, which means that we're going to be oscillating faster. Our cells will oscillate faster. So feed yourself higher vibrational food, more light and more water content food. You're going to want to slow down and get to a quieter environment, because your gifts and your skills and your talents are turning on. It's coming online. You're being hooked up to the field, if you will, to your oversoul field. We've talked about that in my videos. Right? So just know that there's going to be lots of really great things, and you're going to feel the energy right away, which is really good. Right? It's really exciting. We've wanted this. We've wanted this for so very long, and we're going to be connecting and collaborating with higher intelligent people. But this is why God will have you really feel that that integral in your solar plexus right here. Your solar plexus is going to feel that pull to those people that you're meant to work with at the solar plexus level. And you'll have these constant reminders of these people. They'll keep hearing their names, because you're meant to work with these people because they have a balance that you don't, and vice versa. You might have something that they don't. So you do need to work together to bring down the foundation of humanity, so you're not jetting off in all these directions where you will be sat back down and you're going to lose probably 5 or 10 years. So again, you have to understand, really discern those that are putting a whole bunch of money into new things and they're just trying to get the best out of the awakening field. Because how they used to take trends and how we used to operate from trends from our technology is all changing. Trends don't mean anything anymore. We're going to be heart-centered and we're going to be in resonance with the natural source energy and who you are as a vibration. And that should be the only thing that you're offering as a gift and a skill and talent. And then through time, just as and the proof of that, now I am the only one on the planet, and my resonance and my energy and my vibration stands more than anything. I have the highest integrity out of anybody that thinks that they can be like me or of me. They can't. And God will prove it every time. I'll be protected every time, because there is nobody like me. I took the long road. I wanted to be that dodecahedron because my gifts and skills and talent are going to bring humanity through these 5D gates, and we're going to have really fully anchored into the beauty of all that we are. And then you're going to be naturally offering your organic, aptitude, your capacity, and your skills. Your ancestors are going to awaken you, no doubt. My second hour at 11:30, we're going to come back at 11:30. My second hour is going to be, I'm going to practice a bit of my gifts and skills from my ancestry, showing you how to do it, right? That's what a good leader does. A good leader will always show you how to reclaim your own power so you can step into your own gifts and skills and wisdoms. And so we do have to take a break right now. We'll be back at 11:30 PST. My name is Celeste, also known as Joanna. Go back to all of our videos. You're going to get lots of downloads. You'll be activated in what Christ consciousness is, what crystalline energy is, and why it's so, so important that we slow down and that we anchor and we actually do the daily path work and we actually get used to our bodies enmeshing with source. We want to enmesh with source because as you enmesh with source, it will activate your crystalline DNA if you have a great amount of crystalline. We're going to talk about that in the second hour. And it will also drive you closer to your gifts, your skills, and your talents to an organic vocational alignment. We don't want to cheat, and you don't want to be taking anything from anybody else. You don't need to. You want your fullest capability because that's who you're going to be known by. You're going to be known by your vibration. So if you're cheating and you're stealing and you're copying and you're doing all of these things that have been talked about before through the secret societies and the cults and the covens and the shadow governments that have been taking people out through competition and forcing people into competition and forcing people into enslavement, forcing people into insanity, forcing all of these things in the swarming and takeover projects, we're not doing that anymore. Those people are getting pulled. They're getting karma by the hour. We're going to do it right this time because you have the right leaders now. And so anybody that would like to make a donation or like to get in touch with me through PayPal, it's paypal.me/Joanna L. Ross. And we're going to see you in a half an hour's time, I think at 11:30 to 12:30. And then tomorrow we'll be back on with our 2 hours fully. So I love you so very much. Namaste. And if you'd like to make a donation or book a sensational session, connect with me. Bye, everybody. See you soon.